Cloverleaf is almost a non-negotiable. I have to have it with my clients. When I'm hired for an individual workshop or a keynote or something like that, I love the 90 minutes we spend together. We have great breakouts. We have all these things. And there's many, say, epiphanies in the meetings. Like you can see the team like gelling or getting through a breakthrough. And what Cloverleaf does, if a coach's goal is to stir momentum of a positive change, Cloverleaf just keeps that going, keeps the flywheel going. So for me, I've had many more examples of being asked to come back in the next quarter or 6 months because I'm top of mind because I have their Cloverleaf coaching tools that they're kind of using with it. So for me, it's become a part of my practice that I'm not sure I would be as successful as a coach without it. I'm hired as a coach to help women navigate maternity leave. And in my experience, maternity leave is more of a team sport. So she's not the only one impacted by going on maternity leave. There's a whole team and there's customers and everything like that. So I started using Cloverleaf before I had this client. And what was really helpful is her sales manager, he was a high I and she was a C, even though she's in sales. And so what happened when she was getting ready for maternity leave, as she got more stressed, she needed more facts and details. And some of those facts and details, you actually just don't know what's going to happen in 5 months when she's returning from maternity leave. Territory questions, customer questions. So the stress that she was under was actually preventing her from being successful. So what we found with Cloverleaf, it actually gave us really good coaching tips and insights on how she navigates the unknown with more details. So her boss, who actually doesn't love the details and was kind of frustrated by her asking questions that he wouldn't have the answers to for another, couple months, it allowed him to have more insight to how he could be a better leader for her and for the team to provide more information for her. And so that was one thing that really helped because that eased her stress, increased her confidence. But the best part is when she was out on maternity leave, the company is really good about letting her leave for 3 months. But often the woman on maternity leave, feels disconnected. So there's new people that joined the team and she was actually getting to know people through Cloverleaf, through the coaching tips, and she felt more confident coming back to the team because she had some familiarity with the personalities and the different types of people. So it just helped her feel connected and more confident. So when she returned, she was like, she didn't feel like she skipped that much of a beat. When it comes to maternity leave, I say every experience is unique based on her and her team and everything like that. What Cloverleaf did is often when you're going on maternity leave, it's not the story that's going around you, it's the story that you're making and the narrative in your head. And so for her, she could have gotten more and more stressed about not having facts, not having information, too much unknown. And there's an easy shift of blame towards the company's policies or to things that are not in her control. So I feel like with the help of Cloverleaf, it allowed her to have right headspace to ask better questions. There was even times that she'd share her Cloverleaf coaching tip and she'd share it with one of her partners. And she's like, this is why I'm kind of freaking out. Can you help me understand this? And she could share things of how she works better. And it actually just added a little more humor to it instead of stress. So too often I work with some women without Cloverleaf or pre-Cloverleaf in my world, and their stress is real, but they make it to be such a strong issue because it's so real for them. They don't know how to find connection with somebody else to ask the question because he may not understand what she's going through. And then it's just hard to communicate. So Cloverleaf does give like words to your situation that just helps you enter the conversation with confidence and just total vulnerability, like, how do we handle this? And this is kind of the coaching tips is kind of sharing how I feel and why I have some stress. I feel like corporate America is pretty time starved. So anybody that's in the workplace right now, time is the most precious commodity. And we fill our calendar with so many things. So you just go into the day and you're really just bam, 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 meeting after meeting. So for me personally, where I find Cloverleaf is so helpful is I just have a daily commitment to go to some of my coaching tips. Sometimes it's the one that serves up to me in that email. And then sometimes I use a search. But as a stress management technique, instead of having just mindless going through the day and bumping up against the people, I have more intention of how to be more present. Because I find the coaching tip that works for my situation, it helps me have a better headspace going into the meeting. So I'm more prepared or I'm more articulate with the right question and I just have more peace. So although I'm super busy through the day, I find that Cloverleaf reduces my stress because it allows me to be more present for the next segment or the next meeting or, the next thing that I'm doing. So that's really, the biggest thing of how I use it. It helps me kind of with the right mindset.